In what's become customary fashion and expected of Virat Kohli in a chase, especially in India, it's been a vintage performance by the hosts. At halftime, we thought the West Indies would challenge India with 322 for 8 after a terrific 100 by Shimron Hetmeyer, his third in ODI cricket. Standout for Yuzvendra Chahal, who conceded just 41 on a day where nearly 650 runs were scored. On the other side, Rohit Sharma with his 20th one-day international 100, Virat Kohli with his 36th, fast approaching 10,000 runs. It was all too easy for the Indian captain and vice-captain. 246 runs between them that ensures an 8-wicket win to take a 1-0 lead. This is ESPN Cricinfo's post-match show. Ajit Agarkar and Phil Simmons, who we've got finally. Phil, so let me start with you and make sure we've got a sound enough connect. It seemed like this chase could have been tricky, but that was as easy as the Indian batsman could have made it look.
In world cricket, there's no better sight than Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma batting together on a wicket like that. And they showed their class, and it showed the inexperience of some of the West Indian bowlers. But it was truly great to watch.
It's hardly like we're going to say something we've not said before. Top three, these two batting, a return of sorts for Virat Kohli in ODI cricket, but no signs of rust with the white ball.
Not at all. I mean, I got that 100 in the first test match as well. Looked like a net session really at one point. I mean, just hit boundaries at will, rotated strike when they wanted. Rohit got his 50 or 51 balls and then ended up 152 of 117. Just the change in gears. Also probably found out why Indians found it that difficult with the ball as well. Looks like one of the smaller grounds in India where a lot of the times they just punch the ball in the gap and the deep fielders couldn't cut it off. So just the top three at the I don't think there's a better top three, and Shikhar Dhawan missed out tonight. But I don't think there's a better top three in world cricket at the moment, or in the world in one-day cricket at the moment. Just makes chasing look so easy. I mean, 322 is not an easy target. Doesn't matter what attack you're facing, whether it's an inexperienced attack or not. Apart from that brief spell with the seamers at the start, there was always only one result on the cards.
38 fours and 11 sixes, so they had plenty to relish the Guwahati crowd on their first one-day international at that particular ground. Look at the areas that they got their runs, and it seemed almost ridiculous that even punchers were going for fours. It's just that sort of ground. I mean, you've seen grounds like this in the East. The Eden Gardens has a fast outfield, 60-65 meter boundaries. Virat Kohli, comfortable runs all round, plenty square. But the ease with which the boundary hitting was, can you sympathize for the bowlers, Ajit?
Yeah, you've got to. I mean, when 322 gets chased in 42 and a half overs, or just over 42 overs, you've got to sympathize with the bowlers. I mean, that's the state of one-day cricket at the moment, really, with two white balls, wickets as flat as the one we saw tonight, just true bounce, and not big grounds, smallish grounds. So, and top quality batsmen, obviously. I mean, that kind of ability with the bat, only good players have, and these two, the consistency. I mean, 36 one-day hundreds and 20 one-day hundreds at the top is why India has been so successful in one-day cricket.
That's 140 for Virat Kohli. Rohit Sharma not far behind, 152. Just have a look at where he got his runs, and we know Rohit to get into different gears once he's settled. 8 sixes, that's always what stands out. When he gets daddy hundreds, as he often does, he tends to get plenty of sixes, so runs through the leg side. I mean, the last time Guwahati hosted the West Indies in a one-day international was 1987. Phil Simmons might remember that day where 175 was enough runs, and Viv Richards scored 41, Phil scored 34, and they won the game. 170 beat 150. Here we are with 320 not being enough. Phil?
Yeah, that's the thing. I was there for that game. I was reminiscing about that today, and it's changed. The game has changed worldwide so much, and I think a lot to do with 2020 cricket, but the scores are never enough. You never know batting first how much you need to get on any ground, and especially playing against India, who are what I would say the best chasing side in the world. You never know how much is enough. Looking at it today, you could see that the wicket was a very good wicket to bat on. The way how Hetmeyer just played through the line with some of the balls, it was going to be either get Kohli early or get Rohit early or pay the price.
Okay, now I'm not going to get into this debate of it being too easy for the batsmen because we've done that. We have to accept what international cricket is now. But Phil, you said it's tough when you're batting first as to what to get. Even that being said, 250 is what they got inside 40 overs. They just lost too many wickets. There was a point, had they just had a few wickets, you thought maybe they could have even got 360, 370. West Indies, if they look back at that first innings, can we be critical of just losing too many wickets too soon?
I think losing too many wickets, but a couple soft dismissals. I think somebody like Kieran Powell needed to go on and do what Rohit and Virat did, because he got the start that was needed, 50 odd, and getting out caught on the boundary at that point in time was not a good thing. Shea Hope started again. So there's a few things that they can look back on and know that they were 50, 60 runs short or where they should have been.
Yeah, that's a good point, because right after his 50, Kieran Powell goes, right after his 100, Hitmaya goes, and it wasn't like they were terrific. They were nice
all look good.
Yeah.
Holder, last over of Chahal, and still what, 8 overs to go after that, or 6 overs to go after that, trying to play that funky shot or a cheeky shot for what it was going to fetch him 1 run anyway. Those sorts of little things, I'm not sure that would have been enough. It might have put a little bit more pressure on India, but the way Rohit and Virat made it look easy, 360 might not have been enough on the night. You've got to feel for the bowlers. I mean, I haven't played at that ground, or I haven't seen it, but can't imagine what size that ground is. Because I mean, 4s, okay, 6s, they still went way back in the stands every time Rohit hit it, but the boundaries were scored so easily. I mean, the guys on the fence had no chance to cut it off. So. You've got to feel some sympathy for the bowlers.
There aren't too many
a little bit more.
There aren't too many big grounds in India, so it's hardly like I should single out Guwahati.
Not really. That's why I said I haven't played at it.
Yes, of course.
I don't know whether it's different to some of the other fast-scoring grounds, but the boundaries, it was just racing.
It's also
to
the outfield, not just the size of the boundary, but it raced. It's like the Eden Gardens. It gives you no chance.
Yeah, I mean, wonder whether there was a little bit of dew where it just skidded on the surface, but nothing to take away from the skills of the batters.
Okay, word on Yuzvendra Chahal on a day where everyone else went at 7, 8, 9 to bowl 10 overs and 3 wickets. Probably the difference between the West Indies getting more.
Yeah, and wickets, 3 wickets at crucial stages. So even Holder towards that, looked so good again with the bat. To get him out then, and in spite of Roach and Bishu had to put that partnership to get them to where they were, otherwise they were well short. So just stands out every time he bowls for India in those middle overs. I think that's been the difference when, say, Jadeja and Ashwin, that's why they were left out of the squad for a Kuldeep and a Chahal, because they get wickets in the middle. I mean, we've seen with the West Indian innings today, as soon as they didn't get wickets in that middle of that innings, it's so much easier for the batsmen.
Yeah, I mean, good wrist spinners, Phil, in your team today. You know that, being with Afghanistan too, that it makes the biggest difference. The minute you have good wrist spin, you can trouble even quality batsmen. Virat Kohli falling to leg spin today. Just the assessment from this game, were you surprised that Kuldeep Yadav wasn't part of the setup? And would you expect a bit more from Devendra Bishu?
Very surprised that Kuldeep wasn't part of the 11, because I think when you look back at West Indies itself, they have trouble against spin, but just what he's done for the team in the recent past, and we look back at Asia Cup where we played, and you could see that. But you look at Chahal today, and I think the important wicket was getting someone who relishes playing in India conditions, Malan Samuels, in the second ball, and I think that was a huge wicket for India in stopping the run rate, and he bowled as best as he could today, and restricted wrist runs is exceptional in that conditions.
Just trying to see if there are more wrist spinners that they can turn to, but it doesn't look like the Windies have got any more leg spin or wrist spin options, Phil.
Oh, I haven't seen any back of the arm bowlers coming out in the recent past. I think Bishu has been there for a while. You had a couple of young folks, but nobody that wrist spin. You have more left arm spinners coming out and playing and doing well, but no wrist spinners.
It looks too easy against someone like Ashwin. But let's speak of the fast bowlers. And while the scoreboard doesn't make good reading for Shane Thomas's ODI debut, there's a bit of it that got all of us excited. I'll start with you as a fast bowler. You don't mind a big fellow running in, tall jump, and gets to the opening batsman.
Yeah, I mean, you could see the pace was there. Virat Kohli sort of played him really well when he came in. Otherwise, at that point, it looked like India were in a bit of trouble once he got Shikhar Dhawan out. Great first over to bowl at him. The pace was right up there. You could see the ball had nice carry. Yeah, exciting. And first game in India, it's not an easy place to bowl at all. Looked very impressive. Like Phil said, if he's a quick learner and keeps improving, he's going to be a huge asset for West Indies going forward. Yeah. I mean, these are tough conditions to bowl against some high quality batsmen. If he can keep improving in this series itself, might make things a lot easier for him going away from India.
He's got to improve on his celebration. He nearly took his wicketkeeper out with that high five, Phil. But you'd like to see a bit more of O'Shane Thomas, I'm sure, wouldn't you?
Yes. He is what the future looks like, and I think from where he's come from, to make that impact in his first game, 10 for 80 something in your first game, I don't have a problem with that, because you know that he's going to learn from that and he's going to get better. And as you just said, if he learns as this series goes on, then coming to the fourth and fifth one days, we could see a change in what's happened today.
Okay, looking ahead to the second game, quick turnaround, just a few days. And there are things the West Indies can take positively from this, but from India's point of view, this combination they went with, batsmen seem great at the top of the order. Would you want Kuldeep Yadav in that side?
I think so. Again, you'll want to see the conditions once they get to Vizag and what it's like. But I can't imagine it being too different. The wicket will still be very good. It's again not a very big ground either. Kuldeep provides you with with variety. A lot of batsmen are not picking him world over, and if your top order is in such good shape, why not? I mean, Ravindra Jadeja, for the package that he gets to the Indian team, he still has his limitations when it's a flat wicket with the ball. And if he's going to be a sixth bowler, you can understand. But if he's going to be a fifth bowler, it's always going to be a challenge for Virat Kohli. I mean, I thought the West Indies did really well with the bat. Yes, they were in position to get a lot more. But 322 is still a formidable total, and there might be a day where the Indian top three don't play as well as, or the top two out of the top three don't play as well as they did tonight. I think Kuldeep's got to play in that 11 if the batting's in such good form.
Okay, Phil, from the West Indies point of view, just one game. Should they just stick with the same side going into Vizag, or is there place to try out another spin option in Fabian Allen, the all-rounder, or another seamer in Obed McCoy? All inexperienced. They've got Kemo Paul too. Would you stick with the same 11 for the second game?
I would stick with the same 11. I think our thoughts going into the series was the batting and how much runs the batting can score to give to the bowlers. Today, they did their job, and they will learn from it. The Powells and the two Powells and Hetmyer himself, they will learn from today. But you've got to give the bowlers a chance. The only difference you see there is that O'Shane he will come back strong in the next match. But I would stick with the same West Indian 11.
All right. Many thanks, Phil Simmons and Ajit Agarkar. Phil, we've managed to get you for a full show finally. It's taken us all day. We hope to not have this trouble for the second ODI. Many thanks for your thoughts. We'll catch you before that game. Thank you, Ajit Agarkar, as well. So, before the second ODI in Vizag is when we look forward to your company on ESPN Cricinfo Matchday. Download the app to stay up to date with all the news surrounding the India-West Indies series. The story from Guwahati is that India have taken a 1-0 lead.